Hey, I'm Charles with Rocky Mountain ATVMC, and today I just wanted to talk to you guys about some common mistakes and issues we see with installing the hardware on your rear sprocket on your dirt bike. So the first thing and most common issue we see is stripped out fasteners. Now, a lot of guys either try to use an impact on this bolt or try to loosen the fastener up by loosening the bolt, whether it's the Allen key or Torx bit. But really what you want to do, you're going to be trying to loosen the nut first, and then when you go back together, you want to tighten the nut. Now, when you're doing this, we are going to show you a tool that makes the job a lot easier, but if you just have a standard Allen key and a wrench, whenever possible, you're going to want to use the box end of the wrench. That way you avoid stripping out that nut, but you're not going to have a lot of leverage. And then the other thing with this short wrench, sometimes you're going to hit your hand on the sprocket. That's why I wear these gloves at all times. Now, other guys, they're going to try to double stack the wrench. So you get your box end on there. And then you can pull on that nut, but it's a little sketchy, and there is a better way to do it. Now, one more thing with these wrenches, if you can't fit that box end on there, sometimes these spokes are really close to that nut. People use the open end of the wrench. And problem with that is, if you're cranking on that, sometimes people actually round out those bolts. So the better option would be to go with this Warp 9 sprocket wrench kit. This thing is super inexpensive. As of right now, it's under 20 bucks, and it's going to save you a lot of headache and keep you from busting your knuckles on the sprocket. So I highly recommend it. This thing fits most dirt bikes that are out on the market today. Comes with a 12 and 13 millimeter wrench size, and it's a line style wrench. So this isn't a box end, but it's not an open end either. It's going to grip on 5 sides of the nut and help keep from stripping out that nut. So if I go ahead and place this on the nut, that open side will let you get around any spokes that are in your way. So that's sitting on there. So this, again, what's nice about it, this keeps your hand far away from that sprocket and keeps it away from that tire. So you're not going to hit your knuckles on anything. And then the tool also comes with an 8 millimeter Allen wrench. You have a ton more leverage with this. But again, we're pulling on the wrench itself, not on the Allen. So we loosen that up. Once that nut is actually loosened up, I'm not opposed to using an impact wrench to pull that bolt out. Now, the other thing this tool comes with is a T45 wrench, and this is going to fit your KTM and Husky bikes. So we're going to go ahead and finish removing this bolt all the way, and we'll give you some tips on reassembly. Now, when you're going back together, you want to use new hardware for that rear sprocket, and the reason for that is typically the nut will either be a lock nut or a nylock, and you want to make sure that this hardware doesn't come undone while you're riding. Every now and then you hear of that happening, and the bolt comes out, it hits the swing arm, locks up the rear wheel, creating a potentially dangerous situation. It's going to damage your swing arm and probably even your hub. So you don't want that to happen. So we're using new hardware. This hardware comes with the Loctite already installed onto it, but if your hardware doesn't come with that, you definitely want to apply some to it when you're going back together. You can just use some blue Loctite, that's fine. And then another nice thing about this tool, it's going to hold our nut in place when we go back together. So I'll set the nut in it, line it up with the hole, and drop the bolt into place. Now when you're going back together, to bring the nut all the way against that hub, you can turn that Allen, but to do the final tightening, you definitely want to use the wrench and tighten the nut. So we've got that snugged all the way against the hub, so we're going to go ahead and do the final torque with our wrench. And then you can go ahead and do the same thing for the remaining bolts. And those are my tips and tricks for getting your rear sprocket changed out on your dirt bike. This Warp 9 sprocket wrench kit makes the job a lot easier. I highly recommend it. And if you need any other parts and accessories for your dirt bike, be sure to get those on our website and subscribe to our channel for more helpful content. Thanks for watching.